Hey all, happy Sunday. So I wanted to take the time to kind of look back and see everything that's happened over the last few months. So everything started from orbithanger.com, which was a wonderful site created by Vash. This was back when I was a teenager, maybe 10, 12 years old. And Orbithanger was the center of the mods world for Orbiter. Every mod was located on Orbithanger, and it had a search. You could search with categories. I spent hundreds, thousands of hours on that website. Downloading mods and trying them out on Orbiter. It was a wonderful time in my childhood. And things happen in life, and I don't know where Vash went, but I guess he left Orbithanger in Xyon's care, who promptly destroyed it and burnt it to the ground. I don't know why Vash left Orbithanger in Xyon's care, given that Xyon doesn't really seem to have any development/engineering background. But I mean, I get, sometimes maybe Xyon was the only taker at that time. So but yeah, okay, so Orbithanger was in a really bad state, and I think everyone can agree to that. So I tried to help, given that I am Orbiter got me hooked into computer programming, and I've been professionally doing software engineering since 2014. So I know a thing or two about building websites, so I thought that I could help. But I was promptly rejected. They didn't want my help, and they promptly set up the Zen4 resource manager. Well, the resource manager sucks. You can't even do a decent search against it. And there are 5,000 Orbiter mods out there, over 5,000, and most of them don't work. It's just a zip dump. So obviously the community needs something better, because I've been playing Orbiter since I was like 12 years old, and I can install most of the mods that exist because I am a freaking tech lead in a pretty big sized company, so I am technically competent, but I can install mods like the freaking STS 2016 when you have to install 12 things in a row. So I tried to create this thing orb that was the main purpose of orbitermods.com, by the way. It was to create an automated mod installer. And you can see how it works here. When the forum was going through the Zen4 migration with the mods, when the mods were being migrated from Orbithanger to the forum, everyone noticed that the search was lacking, and it took half an hour to 2 hours max to build this search experience. Okay. So all it's doing is linking to Orbithanger. I'm sorry, to the Orbiter forum. But forum administration saw this search bar as a threat, and I received this email from Xyon, essentially telling me how to run my own website, banning me. He's trying to tell me that I'm not allowed to distribute other people's stuff that he doesn't even have any rights to, besides redistribution. So from a legal standpoint, it's total garbage bullshit. And the other thing is that Orbiter Mods isn't really even redistributing anything to begin with. We distribute scripts like this that link to resources on the internet, whether they be on Orbiter forum or some other website, it doesn't matter. And we install these resources, these mods for the user. All is just a layer to download things from the internet in an automated fashion and to install so that the user can freaking get hundreds of XR2 skins by just saying that, hey, I want this package, rather than having to install 100 zip files manually. That's the whole point. It's not to take credit from the author because it's linking to the freaking Orbiter forum. It's not, copying zips or anything. And every, a care was taken to try and ensure that credit was given where it's due. It's not about taking credit. It's about making the life simpler for the user. Well, it seems that the Orbiter forum administration is not interested in making life easier for the user, because they changed their entire terms of services to block our tool Orb and orbitermods.com. So now they added a browser only clause, right? Browser only, which is weird because we're in 2022. What is the point of browser only, right? I uploaded dozens of mods to Orbit Hangar. I never explicitly banned anyone from having my mods be distributed in an automated fashion. And how many mod developers do y'all think would explicitly want that? Like, as I'm a mod developer, but I'm also an Orbiter player, and so I want other people's mods to be easily installable. So it doesn't make any sense. All they're trying to do is to block orbitermods.com because they can't innovate themselves, because they've been freaking cornered into freaking using the shitty Zen4 resource manager. And then all Orbiter mods related content is now removed from the forum. Any user that posts anything related to Orbiter mods, their content is promptly removed and the user is banned. So all discussion, everything on Orbiter forum related to orbitermods.com has to now happen in private discussions. They ban indiscriminately new users, right? So I was trying to test out, probe sort of their mindset, and they were banning users that have 420 in their username, because that's a sort of a joke that I played. When I'm using here IP addresses from all over the world, I'm making sure I'm a professional at this, that they have no information to actually be able to determine that it's me, besides circumstantial situational information like using 420 inside the username. And they're banning new users off of that little information. That goes a long way in telling you what their mindset is. Their rationale for blocking Orbiter mods and why they're working against it is content moderation. They described it in their thread here. Yes, if we go to the end. Yeah, I think they mentioned something here. But I want to point out that they haven't been doing a great job moderating content themselves. Like, they are telling other people, hey, you can't create a mod repo because you can't moderate content, when they've been hosting David's Shuttle fleet, despite the fact that he explicitly removed it from Orbit Hangar and made a giant ass post about it in Dan's forum. They've been hosting it since 2014. And even Doug's and Cool Hands, I should say, XR2 Ravenstar was being hosted on the forum, or on Orbit Hangar, I should say, since God knows how long. So I made a keylogger when I was like 12, 13 years old, okay? Which Vash promptly, it was a joke, but Vash instantly removed it. Well, he prevented it from being shown. He restricted it. Because it was a keylogger. I mean, I think it was just a joke, but maybe, yeah, Vash prevented it from being seen. But during the migration, that keylogger actually ended up now being visible, right? So there's literally a keylogger being served on Orbiter Forum. So that goes to show you their content moderation, like how closely they're doing it. They want the search bar removed despite it serving value. You can't, the search on Orbiter Forum sucks. You can't even search across categories well. What about multiple categories at the same time? What if I want to do categories with a two-letter thing at the start, or three-letter thing in the middle of a freaking search term? It sucks. Orbiter Forum search sucks. They're not innovating, and they're trying to prevent other people from creating a better experience. They suggested that, okay. How about this? How about you can put everything that you're serving, like user hosted content on orbitermods.com, but then if you want to link to content from Orbiter Forum, you need to create a new domain name. I was like, all right, how about I do community.orbitermods.com for the Orbiter Forum related stuff, and orbitermods.com for the normal stuff, for stuff uploaded to orbitermods.com. And they said, no, it has to be, you can't use subdomains, you have to have top level domain. So I went ahead and purchased orbitersearch.com, which now just links to orbitermod.com. And I was like, all right, let's do this. And they're like, nah, and they banned me anyway. So I want to take this opportunity to actually shame and name some people, because they frankly just deserve it. So here is Doug Beachy. This is a guy that I've known since I was maybe, really young. He's actually taught me some stuff for computer programming, and I used to respect the heck out of him. But I don't know what happened to him now, because I made numerous attempts to reach out to him in email, like trying to communicate and show literally that this is all about the users and Orbiter and its growth, and to not let politics get in the way of Orbiter's growth. But nope. He issues a DMCA takedown request for XR Sound, despite it being under MIT and being merged into the Orbiter core. Let me show you guys the wonderful thread about that. So here's Douglas Edward Beachy. URLs for engineering DigitalOcean page by a ComputerX person copied my XR Sound 2.0 product binary package and it's illegally rehosting it, which is explicitly against the terms of XR Sound license. You may not redistribute this software or host it on the website, terms in the license. Furthermore, the person rehosting the copyrighted package explicitly admits that. So this is XR Sound, which is now merged into the Orbiter core. It's in MIT. So I promptly respond to the DigitalOcean team that he conveniently left out the MIT license, that XR Sound is under MIT. And I also reached out to Doug on Reddit before they banned me there, to try to work something out, but that didn't work, of course. And then, of course, he promptly deleted his post. So yeah, they've tried pretty much everything in their power to try and get in my way. So, which is a really bad thing for Orbiter, because XR Sound is now merged into Orbiter core. Is he going to, he literally, Doug Beachy accused me of abusing MIT. Is he going to troll everyone who now uses XR Sound code in some way, Orbiter's code in some way, I should say. If you didn't want users to be able to use your code or redistribute your code, why put it under MIT? Why, like, Orbiter has a wonderful plugin system. To Doug Beachy, if you're watching this, you didn't need to merge try to get freaking XR sound into Orbiter core. It doesn't need to be there. Okay? Particularly if you are gonna start trolling people when they're redistributing it, because now it's under MIT. If you didn't want people to do that, put it under closed source, distribute it as a DLL file, and put non-redistribution license on it of some sort. Don't put it under MIT. Okay. So, yeah, he also tries to villainize Orbiter mods for linking to resources on the internet. So this guy is one of those heroes turned into villain sort of thing. And then we of course have Xyon, who literally has had a vendetta against me since I was like 12, 13 years old. I believe the first thing he/she has said to me is that you're the guy who's a dick to everyone. Now, granted, I was 13, 12 years old. Yes, I was a teenager. I had a lot of growing up to do. Like, I'm like 30 now, so I don't know why my behavior when I was a teenager is being held against me. So, they had a sex change operation, and given that I barely went to the forum for the last 10 years, I didn't know about it, so I misgendered her as a him, and so they were pissed. It's like, that wasn't intentional. He joined the Orbiter mods, the Orbiter / Orbiter subreddit, and he's removing all Orbiter mods related content from there. He also issued an abuse report against Orbiter mods, which I can show you. So this is reporter full name Lucy on behalf of Orbiter Forum, abuse@orbiterforum.com. Blah 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 blah, thinking that scraping is illegal in some way, more blah blah blah. So I respond in kind, of course, and of course they're like, yes, we consider this resolved because there's nothing but hot air to these freaking reports. And so, I mean, these two people are like, I think Doug has contributed a lot to Orbiter over the years, but I don't know what he is doing now. And Xyon. Anyway, I wanted to also cover Gary W, who seems to be, I don't know how much of a role Gary plays versus Xyon here, because they did some really stupid stuff, like for example random ASIN blocks banning millions of people, and then he comes on to my forum to try and argue semantics about what ASIN is, when I am showing him screenshots of literally I thought I had something open here. Yeah, showing him screenshots of a person in Pakistan, right? This isn't me. You can see it's 4G, and they can't get onto orbiterforum.com because they're freaking banned everyone. Jazz Mobile Link is a 4G provider, and they ban everyone who uses Jazz Mobile Link, which equates to something like 60 million subscribers. So I don't know whether Jazz Mobile Link is still blocked, but I was at that time in Pakistan, and they were targeting the heck out of me. So they blocked pretty much practically. They tried to. um severe, like, people will notice that VPN access is impacted because you can't use a lot of the VPNs now because they blocked the servers. They blocked the entire ASIN. No one was allowed to view paginated resource section at one point. You couldn't like go to page 1, page 2 on the resource section. If you did, it would show you a 1020 Cloudflare access denied error. I have a video of that that I think I've linked somewhere, which I can share later. At one time, I was literally going in the forum and going page 1, page 2, page 3 by hand, and I got banned. So literally anything that even resembled maybe like a page scan, even though it's totally human behavior, earned you a ban. Everyone on Windows using Chrome was banned at one point. They couldn't access the forum. How ridiculous is that? And of course, automated downloads of resources is prohibited. They have Cloudflare free tier. It's an extremely powerful tool, and it's got $1 billion worth of stuff behind it, so it's very, very difficult for people to fight against it. We have a strategy at Orb to open the user's browser, which for legitimate users, they really can't do anything about. So but yeah, so they're going kind of Rambo with Cloudflare, like indiscriminately banning huge IP ranges to try to target one person, me. And what is it that me and Orbiter Mods has done to kind of deserve this, at the risk of potentially losing hundreds of thousands of new Orbiter users? They won't be able to come to the forum. They won't be able to get the resources. For a lot of users, Orbiter forum might be the access point into Orbiter. So the fact that they can't see it anymore is now a user lost. What that goes to show you what their mentality is about new users and Orbiter and its growth. And finally, I want to mention two folks from the Orbiter subreddit, Snacks and Maxime, who goes by Lord Crusette on Orbiter forum. They have been complacent. They invited Xyon to the mods team on subreddit, on the Orbiter subreddit. It used to be a place where I could post things about Orbiter mods, but now that's no longer an option. They remove all Orbiter mods related content, even content promoting Orbiter the subreddit. I've actually tried to reach out to them, and I haven't heard anything back. So, well, this is a summary of everything Orbiter forum and the staff is doing to help you, the users, to help the player to grow Orbiter and to make it go further. So, I think my conclusion is that the Orbiter forum staff is toxic, and that we really, really, really are due for something better at this point. Like, it's really, really sad to have community leaders like Doug and Xyon and Gary W. Like, are you really the best example of people when you get something merged into the core and then abuse random people online for redistributing or reusing the code that's under MIT? Or when you literally block IP ranges to millions of users, but then have a semantic / trolley discussion about what an ASIN means. Or I'm not even gonna comment on him. So yeah, that's the story. We are very active on Orbiter forum. I just want everyone to know that. Thank you for everyone who is supporting us in the private messages. And to everyone who's getting the word out, our analytics are telling us that Orbiter mods is becoming a thing. And we are now ranked 3rd on Google for the keyword Orbiter mods, despite only being there for less than half a year. So we're taking over Google, and we are looking for a full-time employee to contribute to Orbiter, work on Orbiter full-time. So we're going to start off with one. Let's see how that goes. And in the future, we're going to see what that turns into and what we can get accomplished. I want to thank everyone on Orbiter Forum who's been talking to me without giving my identity away. It is very important for Orbiter mods to be active on Orbiter Forum for various reasons. And so thank you for letting me do that. Yeah, I think that's about it. I just want to share that our roadmap is right here. This is our roadmap. And we also have a subreddit, which I will start posting more into. And there's a lot of stuff in progress. A lot of it I can't share because I have some plans on releasing it in a particular way. So stay tuned, I guess. All right, everyone. I know a lot of this was very, very toxic, maybe a negative, but I wanted to call these people out because well, I think they're doing a lot of harm to Orbiter and what it could be. There is nothing that Orbiter mods is doing, right? Like, it's a freaking website to distribute mods that warrants such a vitriolic response from them. So I wanted to highlight what they've done, and you can check out our work here. You can search for stuff with categories. We are indexing pretty much as soon as a new mod comes in. So our index is very much up to date. It's very, very cool. You can come here and load, and it will automatically instantly load because it knows that it stores the index on your browser cache. So it's very, very, very fast and performant. And of course we also have this tool Orb, which you can use to do a bunch of stuff. Like, for example, install Wide Awake International in Orbiter 2016, right? So the idea is to put together stuff that not everyone who is an Orbiter expert, like things that you need sort of additional knowledge for, and to make it easy for people. So, for example, we have someone Box who is doing some elephant walks, right? Using Orbiter client. You might have heard of it. There was a thread on the forum. Well, there's the bundle for that. You can easily use this to install the home client and get the password, everything that you need to just click connect, and you are going to be in the event. And there are things like, hundreds of skins that you can easily install all automatically. So yeah, I would check out the Orbiter mods Orbiter Essentials for Orbiter 2016. This one is awesome. And the ones that are starred are the ones you want to check out. Some of them are not starred, and those ones are I should start this. This one is, I think, ready. Okay. I also want to show you the download section, by the way, and we now have an Orbiter 2016 Play on Linux edition. Matthias from the forum was really, really awesome. And I should probably share this in an incognito. Yes, so he created this really wonderful Play on Linux virtual drive that you can use to really easily install Orbiter 2016 in Linux. So definitely check these things out. All of these downloads, we're serving everything with HTTP on the Cloudflare Edge network. The downloads should be super fast. And of course, if you want, you can also upload your mods to orbitermods.com. You can log in or register down below. And we have a subreddit here as well. So keep in touch, everyone.